Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Criterion Connection. I'm Wade,
And I'm Joe.
and we're here to talk about a 1991 film, a Jim Jarmusch film, Night on Earth. We've been doing a lot of old movies. Let's do something from the 90s. Let's do some artsy comedy, character talking movie. And that's pretty much what this is. It's basically five different points, five different areas in the world at the same time in taxi cabs. Pretty much it. So it takes place in Los Angeles, New York, Rome, Paris, and Helsinki, Finland, and they're all different. They all have different emotions on each one. It's pretty much an anthology film.
It's all revolving around the theme of two people meeting late at night in a taxi cab, making a connection. It's like how we started doing that, like that Craigslist, like misconnections. Like
Yes.
these are the times that people are talking about, like where people honestly connect with a stranger, only to never meet them or see them again.
Yes. Exactly. That's pretty much what this is, and usually it's one on one, but some are two on one.
Yeah, you would call it an anthology film. It's five different segments that are all linked thematically and kind of set up and everything where it's a taxi cab, somebody's getting in late at night. You have this brief like prologue to the story, like, with Corky and
Victoria.
Victoria, where you have Corky taking the two musicians that are stoned out of their mind to the airport, and Victoria coming in on the flight. Like that little prologue before they meet, and Corky's like, "You need a ride," and then Yo-Yo trying to get a cab in New York, trying to go to Brooklyn, and he spends a while trying to get one until Helmut shows
Hello.
up.
Yeah. To go
Uh,
to Brooklyn.
But yeah, each one kind of has this like prologue. The one in Paris is with the two like ambassador guys
Yeah.
who are very important, by the way.
Yes. Very, very important, Joe. I don't know if you know that. They're very important. You
That's
had oh God, what was his name? Panini, that guy from Rome. The you
oh yeah,
have he's not even dealing with a customer, he's dealing with himself.
yeah.
Yeah, and Helsinki is just the most depressing man in the history of men.
It just reminds me of so the Helsinki one reminds me of this Mad TV sketch with the truck driver whose
Oh,
stories
the
always were
what was it the lonely, depressed truck driver man or something
the
like that?
the, the Persian. Isn't he
Yes.
Persian? And he
Yes.
always like, oh, you think that's bad?
Yeah. Well, it's
Like
Debbie Downer.
that's the only thing I can think of. This is just like that Mad TV sketch, only like in a much more serious light, obviously.
I thought it was interesting that Jim Jarmusch ends the movie with this story, not like the Rome story or even like the New York story. He ends on one of the most depressing ones of all of
Well,
them.
the stories, if you notice, get more and more depressing. The first one ends with Corky dropping Victoria off at her Beverly Hills house, getting offered a role to make her a movie star.
Also, I want to point out how kind of gross it is that when Winona Ryder, her character Corky, is chewing gum and
And
smoking cigarettes at the same
chain
time.
smoking. Well, it was juicy smoke, but it seems like each one has a more and more of a bitter ending. Yo-Yo with Helmut, like he gets back to his neighborhood, but they had made like a bit of a kinship. But Helmut gets lost on his way back to Manhattan.
Yeah.
All right, and then the third one, the guy gets into a car accident. The
Yeah.
fourth one, the priest dies.
Yeah.
the fifth one, the dude's buddies abandon him,
Yeah.
which I would say is even worse. It's hard to say it's a character study, but I guess that's kind of what it is.
It
It,
is, and it's more of like a microcosm kind of like character story
yeah,
where like I feel like this like each
and it's like
story you could continue.
yeah, and each one is like it's also showing how like these kind of things happen everywhere with everybody.
Yes.
If you're in the right situation, you're open for it. Like this kind of these kind of things can happen. Like Jim Jarmusch, like again with extremely naturalistic dialogue and able to pull it off in several different languages.
Yeah.
And I did read that he picked the cities and kind of some of the details after picking the actors he wanted to work with.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting too.
I thought like definitely the strongest point, and it's a strong point in almost every Jarmusch film. It's the characters. You like them or you hate them, whatever the intention is. You either like them or hate them. Uh, and great dialogue between the characters. Usually, like, and these characters are kind of like they're very different characters and they're talking to each other. They're almost polar opposites.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not the Paris one as much, but or the Helsinki one as much. But like definitely with Rome, definitely with New York, and definitely with LA. Like they're all polar opposite kind of characters. They end up being kind of friendly to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love people. I've seen a lot of people like love this movie because Winona Ryder's in it, and she's great. I mean, she's great in it.
Yeah, you're definitely in watching this. You definitely get the movie star vibe from her.
Yeah. And
Like
it's funny because she's offered the movie star role.
yeah, it's like she's gonna have a successful career. And like Gina Rollins too. But this is towards, I guess, she's still very much a seasoned veteran at this point.
Yeah.
But she's great in it too.
Yeah, Winona just got off of Heathers around this time. I think Heathers was like 89, I think, or 88, around there. But I think my favorite story out of all of them is the New York one. I just like Yo-Yo and Helmut. My favorite scene is like when Yo-Yo is making fun of Helmut's name, like Helmet, like Helmet, like lampshade. And then he's like, "What's your name?" Yo-Yo. Like a toy yo-yo?
No, man, it ain't like that.
Yeah. And I love how like he doesn't know how to drive a cab. Like, and then Yo-Yo has to show him, and he doesn't really actually teach him. He's like, "It's a drive." Yes, I know. D for drive. I know. And I guess he doesn't. But then it gets much better when Rosie Perez shows up. And there's just something with Rosie Perez saying the F word is just outstanding to me. I just love how that thing. It's like there's no huge consequence to it. It's more of two people kind of getting to know each other and having fun. That was the more fun of all of them.
The Rome one was a bit much.
It was ridiculous. It was like Andrew Dice. If it was like Andrew Dice Clay talking to a priest.
Because as being a dispatcher and dealing with drivers like this,
Oh really? Yeah.
yeah, it hits too close to home because they can get real talkative and tell you things that you don't want to know.
Like
And
about a pumpkin, a sheep, a sister-in-law. Yeah. And then I was not expecting the priest to just die. He was so offended that he had a heart attack and died. But I think the weakest one, in my opinion, was the Paris one. I was just like, it's also the shortest one, I believe.
it's really short, and yeah, I'd agree. It's the weakest one out of the five.
I feel like if you would have cut the Paris story and just extended the others, I think you have a little bit better.
Yeah, but I think the Paris story should be there, and I think he could have just done more with it. Yeah, I think there was more meat on the bone for that one,
Yeah.
and I think it could have been as good as the other ones. I think he wanted to be more subtle than heavy-handed with it, and I
Yeah.
think that's what. And I think he just went a little too far just glancing over it. Like I think he could have pushed it a little further.
Yeah, I'm interested. Maybe like because it was noticeably shorter than the other ones. I wonder if things were cut for time.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it is 2 hours long,
Yeah.
and it really doesn't feel like it.
No.
Which is another, I guess, penchant of Jim Jarmusch films. Is just they have a nice pace, and it doesn't make you feel like you've been watching it as long as you have.
But smooth pacing.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe, would you recommend Night on Earth?
I would. I feel a much more positive feeling towards this movie than you do. It seems like, yeah, I think it's a great movie, and I wish it was shown a little more often on like television.
I'm also going to recommend it. Like I said, I did not hate the movie. I enjoyed the movie a lot, but I did feel like after Los Angeles and New York, it started kind of going like the quality started getting kind of lower a little bit. Like I think the bar was raised so high in the beginning that it started like bar was a little lower for like the Paris one, and the Rome one was a little better. The Helsinki one picked it all back up. Like I said, I'll recommend it. Like you said, you would give it a 4. I'd probably give it a 3 and out of 3.5. It's like it's still pretty good. Like I would love to see more of Corky. Like if she had her own movie, or same with the New York story. I would love to know like these characters could have been movies. That's what I'm saying. Like they're like they give you a
You
taste
know,
and you want more.
I honestly think this could have worked if he had more ideas, or like a team of writers working on it. You could have made a TV show out of this.
Yeah, that's our thoughts on Night on Earth. Let us know in the comment section below what you think about Night on Earth. That's your favorite story of this film. Say in the comment section below what's another Jim Jarmusch film we should do in the future. We've only done 2. We've done 3. We did Dead Man, which you can check out, and we did Stranger Than Paradise, which you can check out. Stranger Than Paradise, not Strangers in Paradise. It's a book. You can check out anywhere in the video. We'll probably put a link so you can check them out. Like, share, comment, do all that stuff. And until next time, I'm Wade.
And I'm Joe.
And we will see you later.